Down to It. I'm your host, Zach Peterson. With me, like all the other episodes, is Justin Brink. Hey, Justin.
Hello.
All right. Well, it's the lead scenes. There has to be something that we do right there. You know, I'm just going to let it go.
Well, we say it's a deleted scene.
We usually do. Yeah, it's deleted scenes.
Yeah.
So what we do is we talk about movies that we saw. We talk about things that we experienced. The consumption of media and our opinions about it. And this week, I saw almost nothing. No, usually it's 2 weeks between deleted scenes, but we had to catch up because I was out of town. So it's 2 in 1 week, and I didn't really have a whole heck of a lot to talk about. You saw some stuff, though, right?
Yeah, I did.
What was it?
I saw a couple things. So I rewatched a couple things.
Uh-huh.
One of those movies was True Romance.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of True Romance?
I love True Romance.
What a great movie. It's still really good.
Is it? I have not watched in probably 10 years.
Yeah, I hadn't either. If you don't know True Romance, it's Tony Scott directed, and it was one of Quentin Tarantino's early screenplays.
Before Tarantino was derivative of Tarantino.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it feels very much like a Tarantino movie. I mean, as close as someone would probably get without copying Tarantino or even knowing he had a style at that point. Man, it's really good. It's like so perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Stars every person in the world.
Patricia Arquette, Christian Slater, Gary Oldman, James Gandolfini, Samuel L. Jackson.
Correct.
Anyone else?
Bronson Pinchot.
Oh, man. Oh, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt as the stoned roommate is one of my favorite roles of his.
It's probably his best.
Yeah, it's good.
And what's his name? I can never remember his name when I need to. Red hair, always yelling.
Eric Stoltz?
No, but close.
What else
He had a
is
very briefly lived sitcom on Fox. He is a supporting actor in every movie ever made. Let me just click the button on my phone, and I bet it'll tell me.
Okay, red hair. My first thing is
Michael
Eric
Rappaport.
Stoltz. Oh, Rappaport, sure.
I did that before the button got there, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've never seen True Romance, I mean, you got to see it. It's
great.
Awesome crime. It's very 90s, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, I think it was one of the real like independent movies that was actually very good before everyone tried to be that independent crime thriller after Pulp Fiction got huge and all that stuff. Because so much stuff's derivative, but that's like the real deal. Like the movie that everyone's sort of chasing to make at that point. But yeah, it's great movie. I haven't watched it forever, but I need to rewatch it. One thing I did watch was I'm a stand-up comedian. People know this. But one of the best stand-up specials in years is on Netflix.
Oh.
And that's John Mulaney's Kid Gorgeous. And if you're a fan of John Mulaney, New in Town, The Top Part, all of his stuff is just phenomenal. He's just a real great comedian. I mean, just watch it, and if you like stand-up comedy, watch it. It's one of those ones where it doesn't need much of an explanation. It's just really great comedy, really good stand-up comedy. And I'm sure if you're a fan of this, a fan of stand-up comedy, you've already watched it, or you know you need to watch it. So
I'm gonna watch it.
Have you seen it? Or
No, I haven't seen it.
Any John Mulaney at all?
No, I know the name, but I don't think I've watched anything by him.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm bad with stand-up. I want to watch it all, but I feel like I've been burned a lot lately.
Sure. I think the Mulaney specials are always good. He's one of those guys that's always good. Because I think there's a lot of stand-ups that when you get to a certain level, their first couple ones are really good because that's the stuff that they've been working on in clubs for years, and that's sort of like their A material, and then maybe they burnt their B material. But then they start doing like too many specials to crowds that are just happy to see someone that's a celebrity, and they're really giving them the benefit of the doubt on their jokes, and their jokes are as strong as they usually are. And you've seen that with specials throughout the years, and I don't want to name. Well, who the fuck cares? But there, I'm not going to name people. Like the Amy Schumer special. Like, well, I mean,
that's
like,
such an internal argument I just watched.
But I mean, I'm like another person that's piling on, and everyone had like really mean things to say about it. I just think that she, I think there's a certain point where a stand-up comedian becomes a celebrity, and they rely more on the celebrity than the stand-up comedy that got them there.
I mean, she's also a really busy person too, so
Exactly.
maybe she didn't have time to focus on the stand-up like she used to.
Yeah, well, she's obviously has the ability to do stand-up comedy well. I just don't think that was her best output.
No, because like her early albums from like 2011 were super funny.
Yeah.
And I thought, what's the movie that she did? That was really funny.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
But the one that was funny.
Trainwreck?
Yes.
Okay.
that was the one. I love that.
Yeah, but and you can also see that in other stand-up comics, but I think that's the most famous example in the past few years.
I saw Tracy Morgan 12 years ago. Height of
like 30 Rock?
30 Rock, which I didn't even watch at that point. I just wanted to see him. I actually was at the show. You know Hannibal Buress's album where he talks about Tracy Morgan?
Sure.
I was at that show. So I saw Hannibal Buress open for him, which we all agreed vocally that whoever that guy was, he was way funnier than Tracy Morgan.
Sure.
And then when I finally listened to the album, I was like, I was there. I was there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's my claim to stand-up comedy reference fame.
Oh, word. Okay, well, John Mulaney on Netflix is great. Also, if you want any more recommendations, and the Segura ones are good. I like Tom Segura.
I don't know him either.
Yeah, he has a bunch of stuff on Netflix. The Matt Bronger, Big Dumb Animal is great. If Eddie Pepitones is on there, In Ruins, do that. But I mean, there's plenty of good stuff on there. There's a lot of bad stuff too, but there's a lot of good stuff on Netflix.
Well, I'm just gonna go with what you say.
All right. Oh, just let me know if you're ever looking to do it. Just
I'll just text you.
Yeah, and if
I got your number recently.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's all for that.
Cool. I also rewatched another movie, a documentary from 2003. I believe it won Best Documentary that year, called "Capturing the Freedmans."
Yeah,
which we talked briefly before, and you have seen this.
I believe,
but it was like at least a decade ago.
I don't know. Like I know I've seen it. Yeah.
So it follows the Friedman family. This isn't really a spoiler, but you find out, maybe I won't spoil it. You find out within 10, 15 minutes of the movie that the dad was busted for owning child pornography. And then the story kind of escalates from there. And it's really unique because there's interviews they had 3 sons, and they get this really intimate view, or I shouldn't say view, but interviews with 2 of the sons and the mother. But what makes it fascinating is it's really a movie about each individual's perspective. And this movie has so many twists and turns. I mean, it almost plays like a mystery. And every 10 minutes, you get a new piece of information that seems to conflict with the information you just got.
Yeah.
And it's just an incredible documentary. It absolutely deserves to be seen by everybody. And also interesting, too, was one of the sons got a video camera. It was in the 90s, right when everybody had a video camera. We're just getting them. And he recorded the most intimate moments of these, like, things you would never want recorded, even like now, stuff that would not go on YouTube, and that's almost nothing. Just stuff that's frighteningly personal, and they allowed them to put this in the movie, so you get this really intimate view of this insane time in this family's life. So if you have not seen Capturing the Freedmans and you're a documentary fan and a crime documentary fan, which like most people are these days, this is like one of the best crime documentaries you can possibly see.
Okay, I think I swear I've seen it, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
I'm sure if you watched 10 minutes of it, you'd remember.
Yeah. Speaking of documentaries, did we talk about Maryland Call?
No, we didn't. That's a movie I recently watched.
Yeah, you bought it for me. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a documentary. Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. What you should tell the people what it's about.
It's about a guy who got a traumatic brain injury. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but he was beaten up for a specific reason that sort of speaks a lot to the person. And he got a brain injury, and he starts sort of his rehabilitation by working with dolls and sort of projecting his emotions onto dolls. But then he starts playing with the dolls so much that he sort of can't distinguish between reality and the world he's created through the dolls. And he starts taking pictures of those dolls, and people really enjoy those pictures. And he starts like getting notoriety for those pictures because he treats the dolls with reverence, which no one has ever done before. And he goes to New York, and yeah, it's sort of that long arc, but it's really interesting. And complex, and strange. It's great.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's a really lo-fi documentary. I mean, it practically looked like it was shot on HD video right when it came out, and I mean that doesn't affect anything because the subject matter is so utterly fascinating.
Yeah.
That I mean you don't even notice, and it's definitely worth watching. I'm glad you made me borrow that.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that like it was on Netflix for a while, and I was just going through all the documentaries because when I wake up in the morning, I play Madden and I watch a documentary. That's sort of.
I wish that's what I did in the morning.
I mean, then I write for like 3 or 4 hours. But I mean, that's the beginning of my day. I drink a couple cups of coffee. I play one game of Madden. I watch a documentary, and I just watched Marilyn calling a lark, and I was, so few times I just stopped the game and just start watching the documentary because it's so engrossing, and that was one of them. And I think more people should watch it.
Wait, how do you watch a documentary and play a game at the same time?
I watch a documentary on my computer, and I play the game on the TV.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and I also watch like a lot of TV shows. Like I watched all of Seinfeld and stuff like that. Just plodding along each day.
I've heard that's good.
What, Seinfeld?
Yeah,
it's all right. And also another documentary that I just watched was Wild Country, Wild Country, or Wild Ass Country.
I don't know it.
Oh fuck! I watched a bunch of fucking documentaries.
This
Wild Ass Country, the Wild Country.
What is it?
It's about a cult in Oregon that moves to Oregon, like thousands of people that starts a town outside a smaller town, and they take over the town. They take over the essentially the county with all their numbers of this like strange Buddhist cult, and a lot of craziness ensues. Like people like poisoning. There's bombings, poisoning of food supplies, and real strange shit. It's good.
Have you ever seen? There's a documentary now. I don't know the name of it. It'll probably hit me the minute I leave here. About the guy who decided to start a skinhead town in South Dakota.
Yes, I've seen that.
What is that called?
Fuck, I don't know.
That's a really good movie.
It is. I forgot what it's called though. It's the name of the town, right?
Yes.
Yeah, watch that. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's like Reading or something.
I'm sure if you Googled that exact phrase, you'd find it.
Yeah, and I also watched Evil Genius.
I don't know Evil Genius either.
It's another documentary on Netflix, 4-part series about...
Wait, yes, I do. Go ahead.
Someone who robbed a bank with a bomb tied around their neck.
Did you watch all of it?
Yes.
Is it worth finish? Is it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm
really
gonna finish it.
Okay, it's really good. I'm not gonna. That's new enough and enough in the zeitgeist, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But if we're talking about classics, like I'll fucking spoil the shit out of, fucking The Sixth Sense. Because you should fucking know.
Yeah, you should really know that by now. That'd be amazing if someone didn't, though, and they happen to be listening to this podcast.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you watched?
Yeah, I've got
off on a tangent there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yes, I watched this movie called Noroi, The Curse. That's a Japanese word. I think it means the curse. Not bad. It's from 2005. It was at the height of the early 2000s, very late 90s. The Japanese ghost girl genre, which would feature like The Ring and Ju-on the Grudge. But back when they were fresh and new and terrifying, which I do think The Ring was a very effective movie when it came. The original Ringu was very effective when it came out.
I like the American version as well.
I don't like it.
It scared the shit out of me.
Didn't do anything for me.
Well, I did watch it while I was living at Power Pad. Do you remember that? You ever been to Power Pad?
Yeah, I've been there.
I don't know. Like, I don't know when you moved
I was
here.
definitely there with you. But anyway.
It was like a giant, 3-story punk house. I watched it at 4 a.m.
There was I don't know if you ever saw, there was like a Craigslist ad they were trying to rent it, and they advertised it as a piece of Omaha punk history.
It's on the register. It's on a register of historical places. Huh. It's wild. Okay, sorry.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, that was all my fault.
You've done some shit.
Also, Conor Oberst and Tim Kasher too.
Sure. I mean, they get enough credit for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's in that genre. Apparently, it was like a lost. It never got an American release. It was fine. It's like found footage, early found footage. Definitely very creepy within the vibe. It doesn't kind of rely on the creepy girl thing, but it's certainly the same genre. If I saw it in 2005, it'd probably be really effective. I kind of expected where it was going. But it was interesting-ish. I mean, I can recommend it if you like that stuff. You actually might like it.
Okay.
Because it's definitely creepy and dready. It's
like
on
that.
Shudder.
Okay, I should probably get Shudder.
I thought you had Shudder.
No, I want Shudder.
Oh,
But I should get it. It's not.
It's like $4.
Yeah, I should get it just for the Fright Night documentary.
Yeah, that's on there. I keep looking at that. I was gonna watch it.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. Fright Night's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Shudder's totally worth it. They have a lot of good stuff on there. I'm really surprised and they keep putting stuff up. Yeah. Anyway, if you're into that stuff, this is definitely something you should check out. Apparently, it was a classic in Japan, and we missed out. So, yeah.
Very cool.
What are we doing today?
Oh, today we are listing our top 5 favorite movies that were based on television shows, with a caveat: no SNL. No Saturday Night Live movies, because that's too easy, or too that's essentially because there's not a lot of good movies based on TV shows.
No, I found that out recently when I was researching a list.
Yeah, there's really not. I mean, usually it'll be a hard list put together, but this one was like, do I really want to put these movies on a list with my name attached to it? Besides for some, but I'm pretty happy with my list. Want me to go first?
Yeah, why don't you go first?
All right. First one I want to say is Kids in the Hall Brain Candy. You know, a Lorne Michaels sketch comedy movie that's not SNL. It's Kids in the Hall.
It's almost cheating though a little bit.
It's the same. It's essentially Canadian SNL. It's one of my favorites. Fucking Bruce McCullough is one of my favorite comedians of all time. And the movie is so funny. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, actually, I was a late bloomer on the movie. I watched Kids in the Hall when it was on. But I never ended up seeing the movie until freshman year in college. But that means nothing to anybody until 2000. So well after it came out, it was fucking hilarious. I mean, I died laughing. I had no idea it was as funny as it was.
It's so the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is okay. Then after rewatching it, there are so many fucking great gags in it. Comedies are weird to talk about because the best part about them are the jokes. But if you try to recreate the joke outside of the context, it just falls flat.
I almost said one joke from that movie right now and realized that would be a horrible idea.
What was that? It's like, I have to go. My marrow's low. Is that it?
No, I was gonna say heroin.
Oh yeah, horse tranquilizers. Yeah, it's made from monkey cum. You know, there's so many fucking great things in that movie. All right, go for it.
I had a really hard time with this list, so don't judge my taste based off of what Zach has forced me to do.
Well, I figured that this one is this one gets you out of comfort zone. I mean, not comfort zone, but it
does get me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, just the movies that you're sort of not zeroed in, focused on for the most part, aren't ones from TV shows.
True. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. My first one is 21 Jump Street.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see 21 Jump Street?
No. Who's in it?
Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum? Okay, I definitely haven't seen it.
Why am I at a loss for names right now?
Johnny Depp.
Well, he makes a cameo.
I'll look it up.
No, he's in Superbad. That's what made him famous, not Michael Cera.
Jonah
Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, it stars those two, and then what's his name?
I don't know. I haven't seen the
Franco,
movie.
not James Franco, his brother.
Jared Franco.
Jared Franco. No, I'm at a loss for words with names today. But anyway, they take a really good idea and parody. They parody 21 Jump Street through the whole thing.
Okay.
Ice Cube's in it, and he plays like a stereotypical mean yelling cop boss. The thing is, it's part of the whole bro comedy movie situations that are still kind of popular. Definitely in the Seth Rogen style of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I mean, it's over the top. It knows it's over the top. The jokes are funny. Jonah Hill's great in it. Channing Tatum shockingly has amazing comedic timing. He gets half the laughs in the movie. I think it's worth watching. It's really funny, and they did a really good job taking of adapting something and doing it in a very strange way.
Yeah. Well, I might see it. It's one of those ones I don't care.
Now 22 Jump Street,
not as good.
Not as good.
See, I had the opposite. I have some movies. There's 6 of them that I want to put on, but I only have 5 slots, and that's the problem with mine. Because I think there's a couple that are really good. Most of them are like comedies that are just sort of put out there, like the next one of mine, another sketch comedy show made into a movie, Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
Man, that is a bizarre movie.
Yeah.
Just like their show.
Yeah.
But really funny.
Yeah, I'm a big Tim and Eric fan. At least I was at one point. I don't know exactly what they're doing now. I haven't like kept up as much. After the original Tim and Eric went off, they did like bedtime stories and they did the Steve Brule stuff, and it's all good from what I've seen. But I never really got into it as much as I got into Tim and Eric, like going to the DVDs and stuff like that. I really enjoyed the the movie. It's good, and again, so the comedy was gonna be like the story's unimportant. A lot of fucking weird jokes and the way they do it, and yeah.
I kind of want to watch it again. I've seen it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is really funny. I don't know why, but the bread scene sticks out to me. Where they go to the restaurant that's all bread.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Chef Goldblum, with Jeff Goldblum introducing the whole movie. Strangely edited by DJ Doug Pound, who does all the video and sound editing, which makes it like the sort of the strange aesthetic that it has.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a really good representation of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think it's better than the show.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, there's a lot of great cringe humor, a lot of great gross out stuff. Different. It's fun.
If you like that movie, now that I have the opportunity to say it, and it's organic. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen The Greasy Strangler? You should see it. It is very much the style of Tim and Eric. Mm-hmm. Bizarre, funny. You should see it. It's just this bizarre movie, The Greasy Strangler. I think everybody should see it.
Okay.
If they like Tim and Eric.
Well, it sounds gross.
Yeah. But it's worth saying.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go back to me. Unless you have something else to say.
No, I don't have anything about it.
Okay.
I mean, these aren't very like discussion worthy movies.
No, it's really challenging.
Did you see the TV show? Yeah, it's good. It's like the TV show. All right.
So my second one is Jackass 2.
Okay.
I chose.
3?
What's that? Out of 3.
Out of 3?
I was gonna say the Jackass franchise, but I picked 2.
I think that's the right pick.
2 is the stunts are bigger. I think they're a little bit funnier. Mm-hmm. The show had been off the air for a few years, I think 2 years or so. So it was like, I mean, I was the right age when that came out. We've discussed this before. We were, I think, 18, 19, and, at the height of our stupidity as a human being, mm-hmm. and then this came out.
I saw that in the theater, and I lost my goddamn shit.
I did too. In fact, go ahead.
Yeah, like those movies, and we talked about this on the Arena Calm episode, like when you see someone get hurt, or when you see someone shit their pants, or just that sort of primal laugh, there's nothing else like that. It's some of the funniest shit in the world. It's dumb. It's base, but it's so fucking funny. Undeniably funny.
I agree. I mean, this one, I've watched the Jackass movies. They're one of those things that if it's, say, late on a Saturday or Friday night, I'm at home, and it pops up in the Netflix thing, I'll watch it. Just throw it on for something. Yeah. Because it makes me chuckle. And I was thinking about why did I like this stuff so much as I'm older? I mean, for the obvious reasons, but Jackass 2 in particular, they were gone. They were off the air for, I think, 2 or 3 years at that point. Then you kind of got them back. Mm-hmm. And the movie has a very interesting and style of making you feel like you're at the party when you're just watching a movie.
Sure.
And maybe that's just me. And there's they're having so much fun, and they're including you, and they constantly break the fourth wall by talking to the audience. Yeah. It just feels like you're at the party. And I remember seeing that in the theater, where a kid tried to light a cigarette in the theater. Which was bizarre because it's been years. Yeah, I didn't even think the kid was alive when you could do that.
Oh, fuck. How great would that be if I smoked?
But, yeah, it was, I was in there, I was like, yeah. And then I remember leaving and being like, fuck, real life.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think the height of the Jackass movies is definitely, Jackass in general was Jackass too.
I think those type of movies will never, or that type of humor will never go away. I mean, even with the advancement of technology and the different sort of genres of humor, even think about Vine and Instagram and stuff like that. Half the really funny Vines are people, running into shit. like back at it again at Krispy Kreme, and then someone flips into a light, shit like that. Like that kind of stuff never stopped being funny ever.
Yeah, I mean, actually, if you think about it, not even think about it, the Jackass was on 18 years ago, which I just realized right now.
I don't want to fucking think about that.
So it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, if you showed it to someone, 5 years from now that wasn't even alive,
Yeah.
is that like, we still think it's funny and this is great. I mean, I'm sure they'd run straight to YouTube like, what, this guy's doing the same thing. Like, you don't get it.
Yeah. Well, it's different ideations of the same shit, because before that there's America's Funniest Home Videos, and before that there's probably something else, bloopers and practical jokes, and then all the way back to the Three Stooges, just being fucking idiots. Idiots
Sure.
are funny.
Sure, I agree. I agree. Something with Jackass just brings back good memories of a specific time in my life. Who knows?
Yeah.
I saw it with my dad.
Oh fuck yeah.
I don't know if he liked it.
God.
I saw Jackass 1 with my dad. I saw Jackass 2 with someone else.
My dad's dad.
my grandfather.
You saw it with my dad.
Grandpa, you gotta see this.
Next one on my list is Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Are you a Twin Peaks fan?
I've never seen Twin Peaks.
You never have?
No, but I do own the soundtrack on vinyl.
Uh-huh.
I really like the music.
It's very good.
It's one of those things that's always gotten away from me. And every time I'm about to put the first episode of Twin Peaks on, I literally do anything else.
Are you a David Lynch fan?
Not necessarily.
Nor am I.
I like Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
I like
The Straight Story.
I have not seen Straight Story.
Oh, I got another thing for you to borrow.
I like we'll do that another time.
Well, it's David Lynch's Disney movie.
I know what it is. I know what it fucking is, Zach. And I like a Eraserhead.
I didn't like Eraserhead.
I like the experience. I don't know if it's something I'd do again.
Sure.
I might in 10 years, but
I like some else of his. Oh, like Twin Peaks. Like Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet, and Straight Story are what I like of David Lynch's. I didn't like Lost Highway. I didn't like Mulholland Drive. I didn't like Eraserhead. Which
I liked Mulholland Drive when I saw it, and repeated viewings. When that came out, that was just one of those movies that people constantly played around me at that point. Once the DVD came out, it was just like constant because everybody's trying to fucking figure it out. Which that's kind of what I hate about David Lynch, is that everybody's trying to figure it out, and I feel like that's kind of the joke. That
it's not.
It's why do you have to figure everybody's always trying to figure shit out. Why can't it just exist? Especially a movie like his,
Yeah,
surrealism.
I enjoy David Lynch more than I enjoy his movies. I find him as a director and a person, like a public figure, wildly entertaining.
Oh, definitely. I think he's certainly interesting and a fascinating person. And I think I appreciate the imagery that he conjures up is very original.
Yeah.
He actually just released a book that I really want to get to. It's just all nudes that he had been shooting over like 15 years.
Huh.
But it's really stylized. Looks really cool. But anyway.
Okay. Well, if I'm big, I think you'll probably like Twin Peaks. I think it was on network TV, which is crazy to think about. But what Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me does, it answers all the questions left from the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks, because it's this weird surrealistic, mystical, journey and murder mystery. And they're like, well, what the fuck happened that night? Because you always hear about it, but this actually shows what happened that night.
Can I just watch the movie?
If you want to rob yourself of a great experience, yes.
I could feel the Twin Peaks fans listening, being like, no.
Well, it's one of those things where like the great part about Twin Peaks is the chase. Because when I watched it, me and Francis were renting it from Hollywood Video for 99 cents a day in the cult movie section, videotapes. Because we go down, we'd like rent like 3 tapes, which is like 3 episodes each, and then we just like go back, we just sit and watch them like for like 2 weeks. That's all we did was just watch Twin Peaks. And then it was always like this was revealed, and this is revealed, and this is revealed, and where the mystery takes you. And it's all strange and weird, and it's a fun ride.
I know what put me off from Twin Peaks for so long. Twin Peaks fans.
Yeah.
Because they all had elaborate stories of how they watched it. Yours wasn't elaborate compared to what I've heard before. There was I knew a girlfriend of a friend years ago, and she somehow told me the story of how she watched Twin Peaks in a single day, like over a course of a year, like 30 times. And I don't know how she didn't remember we had this conversation.
Yeah.
That's what put me off. But let me ask you this: do you think it would hold up after 30 years? However old it is, you think so?
Yes, because I think it's very unique, and it's stylized, but it's stylized in the David Lynch way.
Okay.
Not the like the '90s way.
Okay.
And they even rebooted it and they put it on Showtime, and Twin Peaks fans loved it.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
Like, I think because there's the third season, like, the second season, or like there's the seasons after reveal Laura Palmer's killer that I don't care for. It's just once they reveal the Laura Palmer's killer, that's all the movie. That's all I care about because that's the arc, and the rest it seemed like sort of. Well, I don't. We learned what was happening. I guess way too David Lynchy.
I don't know if you sold me any more than I was on it.
Well,
I kind of just want to watch Firewalk with me. Like, I just want to dedicate 2 hours.
But it definitely doesn't. You're just looking. You're like looking at the answer sheet without knowing the questions.
Okay.
And that's like you watch and go, oh, interesting. I don't know why I watched it.
Probably.
Yeah, but I understand. Yeah, do it if you don't want to. I don't know. Maybe you'll get in a car accident and be in the hospital for a long time.
Something's gotta happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll watch. I mean, I'm gonna watch it eventually.
Yeah,
I'll get it, and I'm sure it'll be my favorite show of all time. And I'll come back on being like, Zach, remember when we did that podcast? Well,
well, watch it on your own terms. Because once you feel like you have to do something, it's never fun.
I feel like I've always had to do it. I think that's why.
Yeah, well, do it whenever you want.
I'm going to do it. I'll do it.
Okay. I'm holding you to that.
I'm up next. Mission Impossible 2.
Okay. Man, I have like ones that can't fit on my list. You're like, this one, I guess.
No, Mission Impossible 2 was the one where I was like, okay, actually, I do really like Mission Impossible 2.
All right.
Why, of all the Mission Impossibles or movies, would you pick Mission Impossible 2?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Zach. So, Mission Impossible 2 was directed by John Woo. And
right.
John Woo, his style is kind of almost stereotypical now. I don't even think people really do John Woo's style anymore.
In the 90s, it was a big fucking deal.
It was. And I love John Woo's Hong Kong stuff. The Killer is an amazing movie. I rewatched it 2 years ago. I couldn't believe how good it was. But Mission Impossible 2 was the most like his Hong Kong stuff than anything else he's made in America. Unfortunately, when John Woo came to America, there didn't really... He kept getting shafted. His first movie was Hard Target, which was produced by Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Jean-Claude Van Damme switched everything on him. And then he did Face Off, which I actually like Face Off.
I gotta rewatch it.
I think it gets a bad rap today. It's like a punchline now because everything Nicolas Cage does is a punchline.
Yeah,
it's over the top, but I mean John Woo's about the action. That's what that movie's really about. Is that his stylized action.
I saw that movie in the theater.
Did you?
Yeah.
I wish.
I was like fucking 6th grade. I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, fucking guns tight.
I mean, you probably appreciate it as much as most people could.
Sure.
But Mission Impossible 2, I think it just encompassed not exactly, but as close as anything he did post Hong Kong as a John Woo movie was allowed.
Do you watch all those Mission Impossible ones?
No, I've actually never seen the first one. I just started with the second one. That movie I saw a lot of, or that summer I saw a lot of movies with my dad. He said he just wanted to go Mission Impossible 2. I said, sure. And I know nothing about it. And then John Woo blazed across the screen, and my pants got filled immediately because I was like, oh, I didn't even know I was in a John Woo movie. So, yeah, and then I ended up loving it. Okay. And I still like it. I watched it again a few years ago. I saw Mission Impossible 3, and it sucked. Mission Impossible 4 is actually good.
I saw some Mission Impossibles. I don't fucking know which ones I saw.
Mission Impossible 4 was cool. They shot parts of it in IMAX, and I saw it at the Navy Pier IMAX, which is the full IMAX aspect ratio, and it was like, shots were unbelievable.
Okay.
I tried to watch the last one, and I got bored to death, so I shut it off.
Yeah, I don't care for that kind of things.
And, so.
Yeah, I remember seeing 2 in the theater and enjoying it, but that's all I remember about it.
A lot of people hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, but he does wear cargo pants, which is really weird to see now.
I'm back on. Hell yeah, I'm on. Cargo pants? Fuck yeah. That is weird. Okay, next one is The Addams Family.
Oh, I almost did that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a fucking great movie, and so is 2. Both of
really
them are good.
The values.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the first one's better, but anyway.
Me and Francis have this thing we talk about, the Addams Family effect, is when you watch a movie when you know it has a sequel and you've seen the sequel, and when you watch it, you want to watch the sequel, or when you watch the sequel, you want to watch the original. It's just one of those movies that you watch and then you want to watch another ideation of it, where like I watch Values, I want to watch the original, But it's fucking great. I mean, Christopher Lloyd, Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci, whoever the fucking played Pugsley, and Cousin
It was a really good update.
It is, yeah.
I mean, it was a huge hit. I remember they rebooted like Addams Family cartoons and video games, and I had the Addams Family cereal. Like, I guess I was really into it, which is not shocking.
It's a really silly movie. It's dumb. It's not like highbrow humor. It's very blockbuster, middle of the road, but fun and good. And a lot of like silly death jokes. Like when they're selling Girl Scout cookies. No, when they're selling lemonade. And some Girl Scouts walk in and they go, is that made of real lemons? And then Christina Ricci goes, I don't know. Are your cookies made of real Girl Scouts? It's like, okay, what a fun joke, right?
That was a good joke.
Yeah, it's good. And also, Addams Family Value is good too. When they go to camp, and then for the Thanksgiving Day show play, they recreate they talk about the Native American genocide, and they like burn and capture the Pilgrims, and because it's for retribution for doing so. What a fun joke! I enjoyed Addams Family. It's a good movie. All right,
really well cast too. Angelica Houston was perfect, and Raul Julia. Values had to be like one of his last roles.
You know what his last movie was, which was is the saddest fucking thing in the world? Street Fighter.
Oh fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
We will never do best movies based off video games because that would be impossible.
Yeah, I mean, when they make one, maybe we'll consider it.
There actually has to be a good one.
Exactly.
And that hasn't happened. The closest was Silent Hill, and that wasn't good.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's something.
I remember liking the Mortal Kombat movie, original Super Mario movie.
I want to see that again.
Oh, I bet it's fucking weird. Maybe it holds up in a weird cheese factor.
I read somewhere that some guy liked it as a kid, hated it as a teenager, and now he likes it again because it's so bizarre.
But the Double Dragon movie might be the same way.
Have you seen that?
Not since it came out.
For some reason, it was playing on TNT a few years ago, like every Saturday. So I watched it. Like, what did? Like, why didn't you just make a street fighting movie? Like,
yeah,
I don't understand. It always has to be in the future.
Yeah, well, I think maybe rewatching some of those early video game movies might be fun because they are so bad in this really strange way that doesn't make any sense. It's like, why the fuck did you make this movie like this? Maybe I don't know. I'd have to rewatch them, or they could just be fucking awful in a non-ironic way.
The golden calf. The golden calf. I don't even think that's what I'm looking for. They did the Street Fighter movie, which was the height of its popularity, and then they made a arcade game that was Street Fighter the movie, the game, which was a game that became a movie, and they made a game based off the movie based off the game. But you couldn't find it anywhere. I've never actually seen it in person, and I hunted that thing down as much as I could in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
So basically Family Fun Center. And I've always wanted to play it.
Maybe Jolly Time.
I'd hunt it down today. Oh, I bet that fucking place. Never mind. Some place has it.
You have the internet now. It's probably easier.
The Hunt, Zach. The Hunt.
Yeah. All right, what do you got?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990.
That was almost on mine.
That was a really good movie. That is an example of how you take. I mean, I think even as a kid when I saw it, I was third grade, second or third grade. Even as a kid, the height of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles popularity, I even have that weird adult thought where you're like, there's no way they could make this into a good movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was blown away at how well they did it.
And it holds up.
It totally does.
Yeah.
The effects are good. I mean, the characters are lovable. Shredder's evil. It's the exact type of New York I've always wanted to live in, which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I also wanted to be the bad guy in the movie, or one of those kids, because that place they hung out was super cool.
Yeah.
God, smoking cigarettes, playing video games, skateboarding, mohawks.
There's been places where I go, this is just like this. You know, it's just really fucking like a place called Planet Zarbaz in St. Augustine, Florida. That was like all that stuff rolled into one. It was like fucking strange. But it's what it does a good job of, and you don't see this a lot with adaptations, especially of cartoons, is that it drops this surreal, otherworldly thing into the real world, and it fits. And like if the Ninja Turtles existed in the real world somehow, that's how they would exist. And it doesn't seem goofy, and it doesn't seem off the wall, even though they're teenage mutant ninja turtles. It seems like a decent, reasonable movie, and it's fun. And I think they do a good job of like giving the turtles personalities.
Well, they gave them emotion. I mean, they made them real people. I mean, it's almost like it's one of the few movies intended for kids that I've ever seen that doesn't insult kids for being kids. Yeah. There's like plenty of adult-oriented emotions that they go through, with Splinter getting almost killed, and
they have to go out to the farm.
Yeah, they go to the farm. They're sad.
Yeah,
and then they want revenge. I mean, they did insult the audience, and like, how rare is that?
Yeah,
because I've seen part of the newer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, and they are fucking rancid.
Yeah, I
mean, they're like insulting. They're just stupid. They're so stupid. When you say keeping it organic and keeping it in the real world, those movies do not exist in the real world. Also, I mean, New York's like the 5th like safest city in America. Do they really need to be there? Like, there could be another city they could be protecting, right?
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you on that one. That would have been my list. My last one, although I want to say the ones that beat out first.
Okay.
That I really wanted to put on there, but I didn't. Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie.
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, me too. I saw it opening night. The theater was almost bare.
Where did you see it?
Like it was like either Missouri or Wisconsin. We were on vacation, but we were like, Dad, we have to see this.
Because I saw it at Cinema Center in Omaha, which probably would have been near you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was a Westo boy, so it was pretty rare for me to be out there.
Yeah, but it's fucking great. Me and Keith Binder, if I can quote that, for like 3 hours straight. It's such be able to used to, but it's great. It's phenomenal. I don't know what else to say about it. It's wonderful. Also, South Park. I don't like South Park, but I enjoyed the movie. Like I hate the series.
I almost did it, but I would never watch it again, so that's why I lost out on my list.
Yeah.
I like the series. I still watch it each time there's a new season, but I watch the first 2 episodes because then it goes straight downhill from there.
Sure. Yeah. And then another one that didn't make the list, any Star Trek movie. Star Trek First Contact would probably be my favorite of all the Star Trek movies I've seen. But there's a lot there. A lot of people really like Star Trek. I like the reboots too.
I've never seen. I'm not a Star Trek fan, so I can't with you tonight.
Is Fugitive on your list?
No.
The Fugitive almost made the list. I just haven't seen it for so long. I don't have like an opinion of it besides I remember liking it, so I don't know. But the one that did make my list, the Muppet movie.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I feel bad for not. I wanted to see it really bad. It just eluded me.
I'm not talking about the reboot. I'm talking about the old.
Oh, you're talking about the original. I've
old
seen it.
ones.
Oh, yeah.
Like Muppets Take Manhattan, The Great Muppet Caper.
You're talking about all of them.
Yeah, all those. I mean, the Muppet movie would be one of that. Is the movie.
Okay.
But those original 1970s Muppet movies are fucking fantastic. They're funny. They're fucking quick. They're smart. And they're just great. And they remind you why the Muppets are such an important thing, whatever the hell they are. Muppets, Puppets, Mops.
Do they still do anything? I mean, besides the reboot, what are the Muppets up to?
They had a series that came back. They came back on network television that didn't last for very long.
It's too bad.
Yeah, and then they had the Jason Segel movie.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I was a big Muppet Babies fan.
Oh, yeah, same.
Man, that was like Saturday morning to me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Muppet Babies.
That make your dreams come true.
I'm dreaming about Muppet Babies right now. Okay. Did you want to go on about the Muppets
No,
anymore?
everyone knows how great the Muppets are.
And if you don't,
yeah,
better figure it out. My last one is Borat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say the full title. Wait, what? It's Cultural Learnings for Make Benefit of Great Nation of Kazakhstan. I think that's
Something
the full
like
title.
that. Yeah.
That's a. I mean, it's really funny. It's if some people don't like that style of gotcha type humor.
Mm-hmm.
I do when it makes sense. I mean, there's a difference between having someone bend over and then you like fart in their face. Like that's not the same. But Borat works because, I mean, it's kind of genius. He takes American values, American culture, filters it through, the lens of how certain types of Americans might view someone from a foreign country, and then just shits it back on your face. But where is it going with that? I mean, I was thinking about this. I mean, Borat was a huge cultural touchstone for a lot of people. I mean, it's literally the movie that got people to stop impersonating Austin Powers at parties, and they moved on to this one.
Yeah, that's true.
So we can thank if you don't like the movie, you can thank Sacha Baron Cohen for at least that.
There's so many fucking comedians with Borat jokes still.
Still?
Or like, because it is ironic. And would that fucking, there's a lot of jokes that wouldn't really fly today.
That's what I wanted to talk about with you.
Yeah, and I mean, like, maybe it would because it's filtered through such a way where it's supposed to be ignorance. And I was watching a recent Saturday Night Live from this year, and they have the same sort of joke still. It's just the way they're presented because it's filtered through the filter of ignorance. It's like, look, what the stupid person is saying the stupid thing. Isn't that funny? And like, haha, stupid people are so stupid. And that's the point of the jokes. But you're right about the sort of the filtering back our American values through the eyes of an outsider, even though a fake one. It just shows how full of shit we are. And it's also in Bruno, he does the exact same thing.
I almost did Bruno too. I like Borat just a smidge better.
Sure.
But he's got that reverse mirror effect that he has just by being in character and doing it. Is really incredible. There's not a lot of people that do that kind of. I hate using gotcha humor, but that's the only thing I can think of to describe it.
Sure.
There's very few people that actually do something that works on that level. If this movie came out today, which it is 12 years old. Which is crazy. I saw it opening night. Side note, when I saw this movie opening night at Webster Place, I can't, it wasn't even opening night. So if you're not from a major city like New York, Chicago, LA, sometimes movies that are released on Friday, they actually release them here on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know why they do this, but they do. I saw it on one of those Wednesday or Thursday shows. I think it hadn't had a national release. I saw the 10 o'clock showing. The guy sitting in front of me, the movie started, and he was laughing, and he turned to his friend and said out loud, his friend was laughing, he turned and goes, "What, you haven't seen this yet?" Like, it literally had 4 showings possible, and the dude had already seen it once.
Jeez.
Anyway, if this movie came out today, how do you think it would be, what effect do you think it would have? I mean, how would people react? I don't know.
It's hard to say. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, political correctness is ruining comedy, because it's not. It's just sometimes people should be held responsible for what they fucking talk about and what they say, which is part of talking. Is there's responsibility and there's a reaction to your action, no matter what you do, and that's never changed. It's a matter of understanding the values of the time and how you want to reflect your own values within those values. And this, there's definitely some stuff in it without watching it for the past 5-6 years probably that you probably couldn't get away with, or there'd probably be angry, articles online, angry tweets.
And I think that would be, being that we're in the midst of a culture war in America right now, I actually think the anger and upsetness would come from both sides.
It always, usually does. And that's, probably right. And then nothing would be accomplished. So it would come out.
It never does.
What's that?
It never does.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's be a lot of anger around it. Everyone would see it to see if their anger is justified. They'd make $1 million fucking dollars. Not a million, because that's not that much. But like $1 billion fucking dollars, and then everyone would be like, "Wow, like that was like, how do you feel about it?" And then it's like, "Well, I don't like the way you feel about it," or whatever. And then we move on to the next thing that upsets us the next week. So it could be
makes sense.
But I don't think it would ruin Sacha Baron Cohen's career because he's a provocateur.
No, I don't think so either. I just think we live in a different world than we did 12 years ago.
I just think our emotions are now news, where we put our emotions online as if they're like as important as what's actually going on in the world. How the world makes us feel is now news, which it's not. So we should stop. But that's essentially because we have become the media, because we have become the narrative of daily life, our own emotions, what we go through each day is what everyone reads all the time. So our emotions and how we feel about the small smidgen of news that we do actually take in is become as much of news as actual news. So I don't think much has changed besides the way that we process news, and mostly because the majority of the things we process is the emotion that is tied to the small amount of news that we actually intake. Does that make sense?
Can you repeat that?
Yes.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm reading Fahrenheit 451 for the first time. Somehow I'm trying to read all the books that I didn't read in high school because it was on the other class that I wasn't in. And like everything you're saying is so like relevant to what's happening in where I'm at in that book. And it's like, wow, like 60 years ago that book was written, and it seems to be just getting more accurate.
Yeah. Because there's so much that happens every fucking day, and so little of it means anything. Like the NFL is perfect in terms of like just an actual complete and total fucking distraction from real news and the fights that people get on over it.
But that's actually kind of a horrible example because that NFL has been caught up in the news for a while now.
Yeah,
like it's not even actual news. It's just personal opinion.
Exactly. It's a point in our cultural war where we, like, what side do you stand on?
Yeah.
Do you think people should be able to kneel? Do you think they should be, obviously, who fucking cares? I understand like why people should kneel, and I think they should. I think there's, they should have the right to do so. I understand why someone would get angry about it, but in the big picture of legislation, like class warfare, real fucking, inequity within our lives in gender, racial, and everything that goes along that, what these football players are doing is a symbol. And then the flag is a symbol. And we're arguing over symbols, and we continue to argue over symbols that mean nothing. But it takes up so much of our time and effort, and there's so much vitriol within it. Like, what we are doing is we are accomplishing nothing while the real things are corroding underneath us. While, our schools are being defunded, et cetera, and all of their energy are being fucking put into these symbols, and the forest is on fire, but we can't see that through the trees.
I honestly think we just need like a new Nirvana to set things straight. Mm-hmm. Just something's got to happen. Something. I don't care what it is. And when I say set it straight, I don't mean to one side or the other. Look, I'm already caught up in it right now.
Yeah.
Shit's just crazy right now.
Well, it's
everybody's crazy right now.
I think it's always been crazy, but now we have the proof.
Well, now we hear everybody yelling.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
What I mean. Yeah. Because all these things, like all the inequity, especially with like police brutality and the violence of, police and just that that's always been there. It's just that we've never had a lens to view it through. And now with the internet and everyone being connected and the humans and becoming the media, we now have the ability to see what other people's reality is, and it's not pretty. And so the world's always been a pretty shitty place. Now we approve. Which I guess is probably not the best way to end a podcast. And yeah, these I was like this one, we've had some pretty heavy especially the monster episode with Jason.
Right.
Is pretty heavy and dark episode. And I was like, we're gonna get away from that now. And then it's like, nope, we talked about Borat and watch out.
Straight down the anyway, let's get back to Borat. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's really funny. I mean, it's such a famous movie. Shocked if you're listening to this and you haven't, but you're missing out.
And it was a huge fucking deal when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, it was massive, and that was what made Sacha Baron Cohen who he is today. The Ali G show is popular, cult popular on HBO. This made him a megastar.
Yeah.
I watched it with my mom once.
Really?
That was, I forgot what it was. Not the best choice. She liked it.
Well, it was just. I remember everyone freaking out when it happened when it came out, and everyone's like, "You have to see this now. It is the thing you have to see." It blew my fucking mind, And so everyone did, and it was like, "Oh my god, it was great."
Yeah, see it.
All right, and that's all. That's our list.
That's it. We got through it.
Yeah. So thank you for listening.
Wait.
What?
I don't want to go yet. I want to tell them what's coming up next week.
I was going to tell them that.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. We're gonna. What we are doing is our next episode is about You've Got Mail. So it's a little bit lighter than normal.
Hopefully we won't get too dark on it.
Yeah, we'll see. That's up to our guest Sorab Faroujas, and we'll see if what he thinks.
Have you ever got around to You've Got Mail?
I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
I mean, I think I may have seen Sleepless in Seattle. I mean, we've mentioned, but I don't watch romantic movies.
I do, but not usually romantic comedies. Mm-hmm. I usually like a little tragedy in there.
Oh, sure.
I have seen Sleepless in Seattle. I have not seen the one with the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll have a whole hour to talk, understand how we feel about it in the genre in general.
Yeah, we'll keep it light, folks.
Yeah, we'll do our best. Thanks for listening. Please rate and review, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, etc., etc. See you next week.
See you next week.
This has been a Sexpot Comedy Joint, collaborative, community-driven comedy produced by Andy Jewett and Kayvon Kalatvari. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, with technical support from Isaac Miller. Every day at sexpotcomedy.com or at a show near you. Until next time, be well, friends.